Hi. I'm always searching for uplifting videos on YouTube, and I've noticed that the ones that I'm most drawn to, that really resonate with me, always seem to have a thread running through them or a declaration or view that everything is love. It all comes down to love. Love is why we're here. Love is our work here and is at the core of all things. When I was a child, I remember asking the question, who am I? And each time I have asked that question, the answer is always the same. You are love. I have been asking the question, what is this experience we call love? And is unconditional love different than love? I've attempted to define love so many times, and yet always felt a little unsuccessful. So, what is love? And is it a noun or a verb? Is it an action? Is it a sense, a feeling, an emotion, or simply a way of being? The more I have embraced love throughout my life, I have come to realize that it is an innate component within the DNA of every soul being, ready and waiting for activation. The other thing I realized is that love and unconditional love are the same thing. If you put conditions around your love, is that really love? It could be need. For example, you need that person because of the way he or she makes you feel. The trouble with need is that there are conditions within it. They must behave in a particular way or you no longer love them. If this is the case, you really never loved them. You just required them. You needed them to fulfill a certain role in your life. And if they were not in agreement with that role, they were expendable. Unconditional love is a selfless act. It is giving love without requiring or even expecting that love to be returned, because you're not in it for yourself. You love wholeheartedly, unquestioningly, and this is the most important part, even if their choices bring you great sadness or hurt, you never stop loving them. Unconditional love is an extremely high frequency and therefore very healing to the body and to the soul. When you experience the frequency of unconditional love, it affects every cell in your body. For me, it has, how can I say this, come into expression sometimes at those expected moments, like, during meditation or watching a fiery sunset or so much of the magnificence of nature. But also often at the most unexpected times, maybe watching a movie where a woman is giving birth. I just lose it. Or glancing out the window at the little girl across the street cradling her new kitten in her arms. Oh, the adoring expression of love on her little face just grabs my heart. Or remembering my dad, who was an entomologist, very gently holding a shiny green leaf beetle in the palm of his hand, showing it off as if it were a precious gem, because to him it was. Watching the stars on a clear night. Or peeking into my son's bedroom while he was reading stories to his teddy bear. Aw. It can be the simplest of things that absolutely flood my every cell with an energy of overwhelming compassion and benevolence to all of life. Could this be what is meant by my cup runneth over? I don't know, but it sure feels like that. Like this little body just can't hold any more of this powerful sensation. As if time itself stops and I'm an intimate fraction or component of all of creation in an emotional flow of deep, deep affection. And my heart swells with tenderness and warmth at the feeling. And my hands automatically move up to my chest. And I feel my eyes fill with tears. I'm frozen in the moment, unable to speak or move, as if caught in a timeless present, and that any movement would somehow collapse the wonder or significance of this precious moment. So, is love visceral, instinctual? When I've been lost in this serenity of sensation, I've felt it as much in my body as in my soul or spirit, which causes me to wonder if it is the natural state of all things. And when we manage to tap into it, it permeates all that we are, all levels and frequencies of our reality. An integration of everything ever dreamed or imagined. I'm realizing that one thing that makes it so challenging to describe love is because although it is one thing, one feature or conception, the animation of love can be very different for each of us. Not only how we express it, but how we feel it or receive it. Yeah, as I try to describe what love is here, I seem to get stuck in what it feels like rather than what it is or might be. To me, it's like a nearly forgotten memory. Yet not really forgotten, merely misplaced, set aside for the earthly experience. Yet within easy reach once the being or human embraces the intent to know it and to welcome it wholeheartedly with every breath, every beat of the heart, into every single second of life. Oh, wow. It's like trying to describe consciousness. Is consciousness simply awareness? The awareness of your own existence? Or is it everything? Every inner experience, every thought or feeling or intent, every sense, the pain in your wrist, the craving for a burger, the regret you feel for that thing you just said, the desire for a kiss. I've always described consciousness as a fundamental feature to all of life. And yet, at this moment, as I say these words, it's clear to me that it's not only consciousness that is fundamental, but love. I once had a teacher who said that love is at the core of all of creation and is what holds the universe together and the planets in their orbits in space. Without love, there would be nothing. Nothing could survive without love, because it is the very source, the origin of all of existence. Truly, there is only love. You know, many years ago, I was listening to an entity calling himself Joseph. Someone asked him one time, "What is God?" And Joseph replied, "God is." And it stopped me for a second. And then suddenly, I got it. God is. So my very best answer to what is love? Love is.